Okay guys, so today I'm going to be showing you how to create a Banksy digital response using Photoshop or Photopea. So obviously the first thing we want to do is open Photoshop, and we want to go to File and Open, and you want to select an image that you have of a person where it has a clear background. This will just help you when selecting your subject to pick it up easier using quick selection. If we have stuff in the background, it can be a little bit difficult to pick it up in Photoshop. So the first thing I'm going to do is unlock using the padlock on the layers section by clicking it. So I'll just click the padlock and there we go. I'm then going to go and use the quick selection tool on the left hand side and make sure it's on the plus. And then I'm just going to select the entire subject that I want selecting. So obviously in this case it's the person that we want selecting. So just be mindful of what you're selecting. Obviously, take your time. If you find that your brush is picking up too much, at the top here, you can change the size of your brush. So just have a play around with that and see what works best for you. So I'm just going to make sure that's all. Okay, so once you're happy with that, you're just going to go to Control on your keyboard and Control C and V. That copies what you have selected. Then what we need to do is we need to find a brick wall image. If we look at Banksy, art, everything is on a kind of derelict wall. So we want to imitate that same kind of image. So I'm just going to type in derelict wall, and then I'm going to go to Tools and Size and Large. This just gets rid of any bad quality images. It helps keep the good quality images in front. So once you're happy with the selection, obviously right click and save as, and save it as a JPEG. So once you've done that, you can go to File and then Open again and find your image. Where's my, there it is. So once you're happy with that, you've got your image. Now, if we go back to the original image and make sure your new layer has been selected, and literally click and drag it onto your new image. Now, obviously it's way too big, so we need to go to Edit, Transform and Scale. Make sure you hold the Shift key down while you're scaling to make sure it doesn't stretch or distort, and size it to kind of where you want it to be. Once you've done that, we need to start off making sure that our top layer has been selected, that we go to Image, Adjustments, and Black and White, because we need to take all the colour out of it. We need to desaturate our person. The next thing we want to do is go to Image, Adjustments, and Posterize. This will change it to look more like a stencil. Now, if you type in a number 2, that'll change your posterize to just 2 tones. I'm going to change it to number 3, so I've got 3 different tones in there. So when we start to edit it further, it'll pick out certain colours. So just use number 3 or 4 maybe for this editing technique. So once you're happy with that, we're going to OK it. Now the next thing we need to do on our blending option where it says normal is click it, and we're going to change it to hard light. So we can see that now our image is starting to blend into that back wall. The next thing we want to do is we're just going to turn the opacity down just a little bit, just so that it helps the layers kind of mold together a little bit more. I find that 80% works best, so but have a play around with that yourself. And then the last thing we're going to do is right click our layer and select blending options. Now, if you can see here where it says underlying layer, Photoshop's really clever because it can pick up the layer underneath and start to blend it in with our layer on top. So if I play around with this, you can see that it's starting to pick up all them green tones from the grass. So I'm just going to play around with that and decide where I want it to make it. It helps the image look more realistic and as if it's not plonked on top of the other image. It helps blend them both and fuse them both together a little bit better. Once you're happy with that, you just click OK. And that is our Banksy Photoshop response. I hope you've enjoyed watching. Please do play around with it and have a go. Thank you very much.